Hey terrainiacs, Mel the Train Tutor back in the studio and back with another Let's Make for you. And this Let's Make, we're starting a new sort of series which is sort of countryside scenics, okay? Your basic green field essentials, yeah? And with that in mind, yeah, all good fields need a good wall, so we're going to be looking at stone walls. So, let's get cracked on and come on over to the bench. One of the ways of making walls is to make it out of this stuff, and this stuff is high density extruded polystyrene, okay? And you can buy these sheets from Panel Systems, but you can buy them online as single sheets from eBay and places like that. I think this is a 10mm sheet, which is perfect for what we're doing. Now I've got this stuff, yeah, and I've already cut out, yeah, a little sliver, yeah, to fit on our base. Now when I went for the height, once again, I got my little soldier, and I did it so it was just above, yeah, his breastbone. Now the reason for that is because I'm going to be chipping away at this. So what we're going to do very quickly now is I'm going to take you through how to basically engrave this and make it look like a stone wall, and then we'll paint it up, etc. Now we have done this in the past in the back to basics, but in this one we're taking it all the way through. So first jobby is obviously stone walls don't have a regular top. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, with a pen, I'm just going to draw some marks out and basically give it an irregular top. Yeah. Go over again. Yeah. Now if I bring it up, you can see what I've done. Next job is with a blade, I'm going to come along, I'm going to start breaking these out. Yeah, and I only want to get them roughly out, but I want to break up this edge. Yeah, so just like that. So I'm going to work along here, get all these done, and then we'll come back once that's done, yeah? Okay guys, and so there you are, I've chipped away at the top. Now the next thing that we need to do is start to actually identify the rocks. And by what I mean by identify the rocks is we need to start drawing them in. Yeah, so I'm going to use my pen and just basically start drawing lots of little rocks in there. Quick tip when you're doing these, okay, is if you go along and you put a few big rocks in, yeah, in random places, yeah, what it'll do is it will force you to make your rocks irregular when you lay them down. So by doing that first, I've now got to fill the gaps. If I work one way to another without those in, what you'll end up is quite a logical structure. Now you can get stone walls like that, you can get completely flat ones, and it is okay. But if you're after this sort of irregular ones, then this technique works really, really well. So my next job is I'm just going to, with this pen, I'm going to engrave into all this foam and put all my rocks in, and I'm going to put them on that side as well. Okay? So let's crack on. Okay guys, I've done my basic engraving, yeah, you can see the rock shapes, and you can see immediately, yeah, how by going over once just to get my basic outline, then going back over and sort of engraving it in and bringing these rocks out. Now this is nowhere near finished, you've got to carry it around the other side and there's a bit more to do. Yeah, but what I wanted to show you is obviously you've got continuity because we've got to continue this on the other side. So as you come round, where you've got these lines here, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to carry them across. Yeah, like that. And what that'll do is it'll tell me on this side where that rock's got to start. So I'm going to do the same with these as well. Yeah, but let me get it on the camera. Yeah, so I'm going to draw into these and basically make these rocks on the top. See what I mean? Yeah, and then when I've carried those lines across, we'll be able to turn it round and carry on with the engraving on this side. Okay, so I'm going to crack on with that, and once I've done that, I shall be bringing back a fully engraved wall, ready for the final touch-ups. Okay guys, the engraving is pretty much done. And to be perfectly honest, yeah, that's good. You could stick that down onto your base and go with that right now. Yeah, but you know me, I like taking it a bit further. So I'm going to show you a couple of techniques that you can just use to take it up a bit more. Now one of them is this sharp edge. If you notice, it's still got a sharp edge along here, yeah. Little bits of cuts out, just bevel that out a bit. See what I mean? Just like this. Yeah, and that will make a massive difference to the piece. Absolutely massive. Yeah, so if you put that in, do you see how that looks different now? Yeah, so what I'm going to do is first, I'm very quickly just going to go across here, take these sharp edges off and round these stones off a bit. And there you have it, guys, and as you can see, just by shaving down that edge and the edge on there, I've made it look far more realistic. But that's not all we can do, there's other things we can do as well. Yeah, so as you notice, this is, although we've got the main rock texture, you know, we've got each individual stone, yeah, all these areas are quite flat. And what we can do, yeah, is simple rock. You can use all sorts of different things for this technique. Common one is a bit of tin foil rolled up into a ball, yeah, and just roll it over. But all I'm going to do is come along and I'm just tapping it. And what this does is it transfers a bit of texture onto those rocks. So if I bring that up, yeah, so it focuses, yeah. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but there's a better texture for when we do dry brushing on there now by tapping that down. So my next job, I'm going to tap this down, tap it all round, and I'll bring it back when I'm done, yeah? And there you have it, guys, all textured up. Okay, you should be able to see the texture on that. Okay, now we're not quite finished. Obviously this is even better than it was before, and you could put this down straight away. There's a couple of other little quick techniques I'd like to just show you. Yeah, in fact there's only really one more technique, and this is called recessing, and it's, at the minute, all these rocks, okay, are essentially on a flat plane. Yeah, and you can get rocky walls where rocks are recessed. So what we do is we get a blade and we run our blade round a rock. Yeah, and we separate it from the rest of the polystyrene. Yeah, essentially. So we've isolated that rock there. Then what we can do is, if we get something like, you know, something like this. Yeah, we can poke it in a bit. Let me bring that up. Because we've cut into it, yeah, what it allows us to do is very much push into it, and if we hadn't cut around that, when we pushed it down, it would have pulled the whole lot down. Yeah, by putting those little cuts in, it lets us push it down and make a recessed rock. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a few more recessed rocks in here just to break it up a little, okay? So I'll crack on with that and I'll come back when it's done and we're ready for gluing it onto its base. And there you have it, guys, that's the final piece done. Yeah, and as you can see, it looks so much better with it, you know, some of the rocks recessed, that texture on. Now, if I flip it over, this side is still very much flat with a basic rock texture. Now, I'm not going to recess these rocks because, one, it'll take a little bit longer, but also, it'll really allow you to see the difference between if you just do it flat and if you do the recess technique. Now, next job I've got to do is, very simply, I've just got to glue this down. Typically, if I'm doing walls, what I'll do is I'll use a thinner base and I'll have the end far more curved so they can sort of be put together at an angle. But since this is mainly techniques, I'm not going to worry too much. So I'll put a little bit of PVA on there. We come along, we stick that slap back, we're going to let that dry, and then when it's dry, we'll grit it up along with the other wall. But if I bring that up very quickly now, there you go, guys. Doesn't it look beautiful? Right. Now, that's this one done. Next technique is we're going to make it out of simple stone walls and a mix of PVA. It's an old technique. It's dead easy, yeah, so we'll take you through that one. And then once they're both done, what we'll do is we'll grit them and paint them up and get them finished for you, yeah? Right, let's crack on, eh? Okay guys, this sort of fieldstone wall technique is actually using rocks. Now there are some individuals out there who will meticulously build their walls and they will lay each rock individually in its place, very much dry stone walling. Okay, you can do that if you want. Personally, I'm just envious of the amount of free time you've obviously got. Yeah. Now, for those of us who don't have lots of free time, here's a more quick and easy way using rocks again. Now, what I've done is I've got some Lego here, and I've essentially white tacked them down, roughly the width of our wall that we did on the other one. Next up, I've got a bit of greaseproof paper. This isn't essential, yeah, it just helps a little. Yeah, and I'm going to drop that in that gap, and I'll use this just to push it down. In you go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and as you can see, Yeah, we've got the greaseproof paper. The greaseproof paper isn't essential because at the end of the day, yeah, PVA doesn't stick to plastic, okay? But it's an extra watch club bonus because PVA doesn't stick to greaseproof paper either. Yeah, now the next thing we need to do is basically we're going to fill this up with a mix of our rocks, yeah, into here. Yeah, and then we're going to mix this with a bit of PVA. Let's take some of that out. Actually, we can always top it up. Yeah, and then what we're going to do is we're going to mix this with PVA, just like this. You want a good amount of PVA, roughly about 1/3 to the rocks. Yeah? And start mixing it up. Yeah. What you end up with is that. Okay, a few more rocks in there, I reckon. I want to keep adding rocks until it's still all sticky, but it isn't all. It doesn't look like it's slimy, if you know what I mean. So you start getting the definition of the rocks back. If your PVA is too thick, it'll take forever to dry. Okay, and on top of that, when it does dry, it will smooth everything else, so you won't have that rock texture. Now, when you're doing these walls, what you can do is you can literally make a box the size of your base, and you can fill the box all the way up. In this side, we've literally just gone for 2 walls. And the next thing I need to do is very carefully, this is going to get messy, guys, yeah, start filling this up. Come on, you go. Yeah, and that's all I'm doing. I'm basically getting this and dropping it straight in. Yeah. Now what we'll end up with is a sort of a wall that goes up like that and down that side because we haven't done the sides. If you add the sides, you'll have perfectly straight walls so they meet at the edge, okay? That's down to you and how much time you want to put into it. I just want to show you the technique on this. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to carry on filling this up, and then once it's all full, yeah, we'll leave it to dry. So I'll come back once it's full, and then, you know, we'll take the next step. And there you have it, guys. That's all packed up. And like I say, it's an irregular wall, but it will show you the technique once it's done. Fingers crossed, eh? It's always fingers crossed with my terrain, isn't it? Right, I'm going to leave that to dry, and we'll bring it back once it's dry, and we'll be able to mount it then. See you in a... well, see you once it's dry, guys. Okay, the PVA is all dried now, and it's time to unveil our masterpiece. And it's one of these make or break moments. Yeah, it'll be absolutely fine. Right, take these off. Yeah, and you can see our wall is standing. Yeah, just got to peel this back very carefully. Peel it back from there. Oh, go on, peel it back from there. And let's lift it off the... come on, off you come. Take that off. Now it is still a little bit damp at the bottom. Yeah, perhaps I should have left it a little bit longer. Alright, but we can peel that off there. Yeah, just right in the middle, that last little bit, but we can hide that behind a bit of clump foliage. Remember, terrain building, it's 50% making and 50% hiding where you've messed up. So, if I take that off now, there you go. Yeah, oh, like I say, a little bit wet at the bottom, so we'll hide that with some clump foliage. Yeah, but you can see the stone wall effect. And like I said, remember, you can put sides on these little boxes, fill them up completely and just leave them to dry. Yeah, next job we need to do is glue that down, and yeah, what we'll do is we've got our EPVC, just like we glued the, the foam wall down onto. So we'll glue this down, then we'll leave it to dry, and then you could probably get away with just putting a wash and a little bit of highlight over that, yeah, but I'm probably going to paint it anyway, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, but let's get this wall down. How easy is that? Like I say, all you got to do is make up a load of boxes, a load of models. Yeah, there's a little gap there, we'll hide that with some clump foliage. Never worry about these sort of things, yeah, you can never make... terrain making often comes with mistakes and stuff like that. It's perfectly fine. There's loads of ways of hiding them, loads of ways of fixing them, so don't cut yourself up over that. I don't beat myself up over it, so you shouldn't. Right, so we'll put that down, and as soon as we dried, we'll get round to painting these stone walls, eh? Right guys, these are dry now and it's time to base them up. And it's a simple exercise, no different than basing your models. I've got a little bit of PVA on there. Yeah, I've got a brush here, I've got some newspaper down, and I've got some very fine grit there. Yeah, with a little bit of coarse grit in. And I've got a couple of larger rocks here that I'm going to throw on, specifically onto that base, so it looks like they've fallen off the wall. Yeah, but with this one, it's just a matter of get your PVA on. So it's all coated with PVA. Next job, just put on the grit. All gritted up, ready to go. Yeah, all we're going to do now is I'll grit this one. I'll add a couple of little larger rocks, exactly the same technique as I've done with this. Yeah, and then when they're dry, we'll come back and we'll get these painted up, eh? Right, let's crack on. Okay, they're all gritted up now. Here you go. Yeah, doesn't that look nice? Right, next job is to start painting them up, and for that we have my really dark brown, just basically house paint with a bit of water mixed in. Yeah, so put that on our palette. Look at me, palette, talking all arty. And then just a little bit of PVA. Because we haven't sealed these, the PVA will just help it, all seal and bind together. Yeah. Mix it up a bit with a little bit of water. Yeah. And then all I'm going to do is give these both a thorough base coat of this. Okay, so the entire piece. Like I say, you could just do the ground on this and leave the rocks as if you wanted. I mean, they do look like rocks, but we're going to paint them up anyway. So, crack on with your brown, get it in everywhere. Yeah, and we'll come back once this is done. Right, that's them all base coated up. Okay, and I've gone for the brown straight across the board because it will give us a natural shadow. Okay, the next job is I'm going to paint this one up first, yeah, with a really simple technique, and then we'll come over to our little, brick wall over here, yeah, and we'll get that painted up, and we'll be a little bit more fancy with that one. You know, we like doing like simple and fancy, don't we? So, dead easy technique. Over here, I've got a little bit of my grey, yeah, this is the dark one there, and all I'm going to do is, using a brush, yeah, pick it up in my sort of palette, yeah, spread it around. Yeah, on a bit of cardboard. Cardboard will absorb the extra moisture out of the paint, leaving it more thicker, which is what you want for overbrushing come dry brushing. Yeah, with that much on your brush, yeah, you're sort of talking what we call overbrushing. And at this point, all you do is that. Yeah, do you see it coming up? So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to crack on and I'm going to overbrush all of these up. And there we go. That's it all overbrushed now. It's looking rather nice, isn't it? Yeah, next up we need to put a lighter coat on it. So what I've got is I've got pretty much a very light grey here. Dipping my brush into it. Yeah, and then I'll mix it with my grey here. And I'll mix it over here. And that'll give me a lighter tone. Yeah, and I'll do an overbrush of that. Now when I overbrush it, I'm going to avoid pretty much the bottom 5 mils. And just sort of go for the higher areas. Yeah, so if I come along, there we are, now it's dried and it's looking wonderful. Last job we've got to do is just give it a bit of a dry brush. Now this isn't an overbrush, it is a dry brush. Yeah, so I've used a dry brush, I've used a thin amount of paint. I'm going for my very light grey, it's on my brush. And all we want to do is create a bit of harsh contrast. Yeah, don't want to go crazy on this. Yeah, and remember, it will always look brighter when it goes on because wet paint is always brighter than dried paint. Yeah, so don't worry if the contrast is too harsh like that. It will dry down. Yeah, trust me on this. Trust me, I'm a terrain builder. Right, all I've got to do now is just carry this on, yeah, and then I'll bring this back when it's ready for flocking and we're pretty much ready to wind it up, yeah? See you in a sec. So this time we've got our foam wall, and if I bring it up you can see the sort of detail on it, and it is rather lovely, yeah? And the impression, you know, where you force some of the rocks down really does make a massive difference. But I want to paint it up, and I'm going to go slightly more realistic with that. And the way to do that is we're going to use yellow. So what I'm going to do is find a bit on my palette, yeah, and put me dark on. Okay, and then, yeah, I have yellow. Yellow is wonderful when it comes to rocks because what it allows you to do is it allows you to change the tint of the rock. Now that's all I've got yellow wise, and that may be too much. Yeah, we'll have to see. But I'm just going to mix it in. And what it'll do is very carefully, it'll just change the tone of the grey just a little. So if I bring this up, yeah, right. I'm not sure if you can tell on this, but this is sort of a yellow, slightly toned off grey, and that's the raw grey. Okay, so in fact I'll bring a bit more grey into there and just darken it in a bit because we've got a little bit too much yellow. Yeah. Right, and there's my base grey. Now I don't need to add any more yellow into this. I've already changed the tone. All I need to do is highlight it up as we go. So I've got this. Same technique as before. We're just going to do overbrush and dry brush. Yeah. In fact, if I put it on there, you can tell straight away the difference. Yeah, and this is by far the best way of getting a more realistic rock looking colour. Yeah, that little touch of yellow. I mean, you can throw other colours in there. You can throw green, you can throw oranges in there, just a slight tint. Yeah, and what we're going to do is dead simple. We're just going to drag our brush and overbrush it. Yeah, see how it's coming? Right, I'll crack on with overbrushing this on, and I'll come back once it's done. So there's it all, what you call it, overbrushed up with our slightly tinted off grey. Now what I want to do is actually leave this to completely dry before we hit with the next one. Okay, so we'll come back in a second when it's dry. So there we are, that's it dry. Yeah, next job is highlight it up. So what we've done is we've just added a little bit of this to our grey with a tint of yellow, and we've ended up with that colour. Yeah, so we're just going to dry brush this on. Yeah, so I don't want too much of it. Bring this over here, spread it out, and then we're going to come along and we're just going to start picking out the stones. Ooh, that's a bit excessive, boss. Yeah. Once again, leaving the shadow because we want the shadow in between the cracks. That's our detailing. Yeah. And all I'm going to do is continue. Yeah. And take that up to the next layer. Okay. Remember, it is lighter because it's wetter. It'll tone down when it dries. Right, so there we are as it's getting highlighted up. Now I want to do one more final highlight, and for that I've added more of our light into our mix. It's still slightly tinted off. Yeah. Take off the excess. Yeah, and then all I'm going to do is just come in. Yeah. Just highlight it up like that. As always, it'll dry darker, guys. And there you go, guys. Just need to leave it to dry and then we'll do the final finishing touches on it. Okay, so there's our engraved rocks, okay? They're all tinted up, they're all, what you call it, sort of dry brushed up. And they're perfectly fine. You could put these down on the table like this. Yeah, but what I want to do is, I want to just take them up to the next little level. And what I've got over here is, I've got a dark brown, I've got a green, I've got vermin, which is a very reddy brown. Yeah, and I've got desert yellow, which is sort of dark khaki. Now what I'm going to do is dead simple. Grab a bit of the green. Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, put it on my palette here. Yeah, and this is quite thin, so I won't even need to thin this down. I'm going to run this across the bottom like it's mould. Yeah, so if I do that. Yeah, and all I've got to do is randomly splodge it. Yeah, around the other side. And then what we'll do is we'll feather it out. So once we've got most of it off our brush, like that, yeah, we'll start feathering it out. And that just basically means dabbing it, spreading it out a bit. Yeah. The important thing is it's thin enough to let the original grey and the original highlight to come through. So if I hold it up like that, do you see the green coming in? Where like the mould of the wall has got to it. Yeah, same on this side. Yeah. Put the odd couple of splatters just at the top in the crevices. You know, it's all about breaking up contrast. Yeah. And same on this side. Couple in the crevices. So there's our green done. And immediately it's a different piece. Yeah. Right, moving on. Next colour. Yeah. So we'll go with this. Look at it. Look how bright and ready and browny that is. Yeah, so once again, just getting enough. Yeah, I don't want a solid paint, I want a wash almost. Yeah, so find a place on this plate to put that down. That's a bit too solid, isn't it? Let's get some water on that. There we go. There we go. Yeah. And all I'm going to do with this is I'm going to come in and I'm going to pick specific rocks. Yeah, and I'm just going to blob it down. Yeah. Another one there, around here. Do the same on here. Just specific rocks. And once again, just dropping the wash down where I need it. I'm going to put one at the bottom, get a bit of contrast, put one at the top here. Yeah. Right, next, got to feather it out because it's quite strong, as you can see. Yeah, so if we feather that out now, what we'll get is the hint of pigment. So we want to break up everywhere where you get in quite strong pigment. Yeah, because this is supposed to just be a hint. So do you see how strong that is compared to that side? Big difference. Yeah, so let's keep breaking it up. Wipe off any excess. Yeah, and just smooth it out. Yeah, you can use all sorts of different colours, but the whole idea is, you know, a lot of walls are made up of rocks from different sources. Yeah, so by doing this, what you're basically doing is you're breaking up that regularity. Let's get some over here. Yeah, clean that off because that's a bit excessive. Yeah, yes, you can use your fingers. I like using my fingers. You know me, and I like getting messy. So if I bring that up, see it's starting to come in together, can't you? Yeah, same with that side. Yeah, right, next one. Let's go for, we've got, yeah, a desert. Yeah, now this is quite thick pigment. So put that down there. We're going to need to water it out. Actually, we might not on this. We should be okay. Looks thin enough as it is, but if it is a bit strong, we can just flush it out by adding a ton of water. Yeah, and then what I want to do is look where I've got pure grey and I haven't got any colours, so we'll put a bit there. Yeah, this is quite a strong one, so we don't want too many of these. Yeah, I'll do that one. Yeah, let's have that one as one of those, yeah. Yeah, around to this side, breaking up the grey. Yeah, so as you can see, next job once again, take the excess off. We've got to feather it out. Yeah, just like that. Clean it off with my finger if I need to, yeah. Yeah, feather that one out because that's a bit excessive. Yeah, same over here. Yeah, bit excessive on that one, so let's clean that one out. There we go. It's starting to come together, it really is. Right, we need to get a bit of colour on that one actually, because that is a lot lighter. Yeah, and then finally our last colour, which is actually a bit of this brown. So I've got some there anyway. We might as well use that. We are going to have to thin that out a bit because it's quite thick now, it's dried out. Yeah, so thin that out a bit. And then a couple of little spots. Yeah. Break up this top a bit. Let's do that one as a brown one. Yeah, around here. Yeah, around there. And there. Yeah, around there. Yeah, once again, feather it out. So, clean off a brush. You get the idea, don't you guys? Yeah. Now you got to make sure you clean this off properly. Don't want it too solid a colour. I'll get some in there because that's a bit of a strong highlight. There we go. Yeah, now that's that fully painted up. If I bring it up next to our other one that's fully painted up, now you can see the difference. Okay, obviously the colours are down to you, it's just the technique. Yeah, by bringing in those spot colours, you can create all sorts of effects on your walls that look really, really good. Yeah, so with that in mind, all we need to do now is get these flocked up. So I'll get set up for that, and we'll come back once it's done. Right, so that's our pieces painted up. Our bog standard wall. Yeah, our easy grit one. Yeah, and then our more detailed, engraved and washed and picked out one. Yeah, I do like that one. Right, next job is like all terrain. All we got to do is flock it up. Yeah, I've got a bit of raw PVA here, just because I know it'll dry really quickly. Yeah, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to come along, yeah, and just give the base a bit of a coat. So that's it all PVA'd up. Now, with me going for that sort of dark green mossy look at the bottom, I want to sort of give this a darker look. So for my sort of spot colours, I'm going to go for my dark green flock. Yeah, remember there's videos in the Foliage playlist on how to flock and all that sort of stuff if you've never done it before. Yeah, but most of you guys, I'm assuming, are coming from wargaming, so you'll know how to put a bit of PVA and flock down. So I've done my dark colours by the edge, and then all I need to do is put that in there and give it a blow. Now this is where we find out how dry it was. There we go. Yeah, doesn't look beautiful. Now I'm going to do the same with that one, but I'll probably use a little bit of lighter flock on that one to have it a little bit lighter. So I'll do that and we'll come back once they're done. So that's all our walls flocked up if I bring them up. Yeah, the sort of lighter one. Got a little brown on there, I'm not sure how I did that. But yeah, looks lovely, doesn't it? And then the sort of darker one. There we go. Wonderful. Yeah, next job is just add a little bit of clump foliage. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got a little bit of PVA here. I've got a mixture of some flowers I made. There's a video in the Foliage playlist for those. I've got a bit of foreground tree which I have sort of savaged. And then I've got some tufts from Army Painter. And all I'm going to do is dead simple. Yeah. Just grab a bit. This is a light bit, so we'll put it on here. Bit of PVA on it. Yeah. Then come on over and wherever that gap was that we needed to fill. Yeah. Drop it in there. Yeah, and all I'm going to do now is a couple of these bits. We'll drop them on. Yeah, and then I'll bring it back when it's all finished, okay? So here you have it, guys. Yeah, that's them all done. Finally flocked up and everything. Yeah, there's a simple one using our little mould, yeah, with Lego bricks with the greaseproof paper to make essentially a solid wall. Yeah, and that's just rocks and PVA together. And as you can see, it's quite sturdy. It's perfect, you know, easy to do. Yeah, stepping up, we've got our engraved one. Yeah, and as you can see, that's really nice as well. Yeah, the colours really work on it. Much like miniatures, with all terrain, it's down to how much time you want to spend on it. Do you know what I mean? You can make them absolutely beautiful if you're willing to spend the time on them. Okay, now obviously there's more ways of making walls. Yeah, what you can do is get slightly bigger rocks, yeah, build them up and you can use a heavy glue. Yeah, even something such as, you know, no more nails. Another option is you can make a core. Yeah, so if you make a core out of foam and then put a heavy stick glue onto it and attach your rocks to it that way, or you can make sort of a PVA paste, yeah, with rocks and PVA in it and sort of apply it to your foam core, and that will another way of making walls. But those are relatively easy to do. Yeah, these are the more tricky ones, and hopefully, yeah, with this tutorial you'll be able to master it and be producing beautiful walls in no times. I hope to see these on the Terrainiacs group, guys. Give them a go. Right, guys, so let me set up for the long shot. So guys, there you have it. There's a couple of techniques to help you put together some field walls for your battlefield. We've shown you a couple of techniques, we've talked about a couple of others, and with everything you've got out of this video, there should be nothing stopping you putting together an excellent set of walls. Now, as always, yeah, if you've liked it, you know, click the like button and share it if you know someone who's interested. If you've got any experience of, if I've missed techniques out, in the comments. Yeah, if you've got any questions about this, fire them in the comments, guys. I'm here to help, you know what I mean. Now, this marks a sort of an important point because we've finally reached a point where, because of my patrons and because of the awesome support and these late night shows I've been doing, I've reached the point where I can now promise you a terrain tutorial every Tuesday going forward. So you will have a practical terrain tutorial coming up. We've got infantry obstacles, we've got a terrain lab on acrylic filler, we've got an in-depth technical terrain video on rust. So we've got tons coming, but none of this would be possible without the support of my awesome patrons. And if you're not a patron, then please consider it. At the minute we're in sort of a fundraiser mode. Yeah, we've actually jumped up quite a bit tonight while I've been fiddling this. Yeah, and we've stepped it up. So we've got 2 live sessions a month, yeah, so far, but we are pushing to make it a regular weekly thing. So if these videos really have helped you, if you want to help with this terrain jolly of mine, if you want more tutorials, if you just want to help out and you like it, yeah, please consider joining Patreon and jumping on for just the $1 pledge. $1, that's all I ask. You're welcome to pledge more, but I'm happy with $1, guys, yeah? And if you're not into the to the Patreon thing, then remember, yeah, there's a link in the description where you can send a couple of quid by PayPal. Yeah, it's a digital pint or a digital coffee or perhaps a digital pork pie, because I quite like those. But either way, it all helps. So, if you like it, please consider supporting me, guys, yeah? It really does make a difference. Every single one of you makes a massive difference. So please jump on board and help make a difference, yeah? Right, that's it for me. I'm rambling. We've got loads of good stuff coming. Yeah, keep your eyes out for Tuesday because it's Terrain Tuesday from now on this channel. Yeah, in the meantime, guys, happy terraining, yeah? Crack on. Ta-da.